Hey, what's up, everyone? It's Dr. Glenn Vo, and I am super excited to have Josh from Podium in the house today. Josh, what's up, man?
How's it going, Glenn? Yeah, we're excited to be on. So really appreciate you.
Man, well, I know things are like really crazy right now, and you guys are so busy just working with all your clients over at Podium. But before I even go into what you guys are doing and how you guys are helping everyone out, just for those who are not familiar with what Podium is and who you are, you might just explaining really quick what does Podium do for dental practices and what is your position in the company?
Yeah, no, for sure. So I've been at Podium about 4 years now, and it's changed quite a bit since I've been there. So to give you some context, I help run one of the teams for the healthcare space at Podium. So Podium is in every type of business you could think of, right? But we have a pretty good presence in healthcare, specifically dental and orthodontics as well. And a big piece of what we do at Podium is patient engagement, patient interactions. And so, and when I say patient interactions, I mean it's anything from like a text to web chat to being able to help communicate with your patients in a more effective and modernized way, you could say.
Yeah. I love that. And, you hit something that's really important right now is patient interaction and patient engagement, because man, what we're going through is crazy, right? I mean, you can only do certain procedures, right? You can't even do certain things. You can't even be in a crowd, of people and whatnot. And so keeping in touch with patients, people in general is very, very, very challenging. So let me ask you this. What are some of the things have you've been telling your clients, all right? What has Podium been telling their clients as far as keeping up with their patients? What are some of the tips you guys have been giving?
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. So our volume, the amount of people using the platform has increased significantly in the last couple months. And a lot of that's due to the messaging aspects of Podium, right? But what we've seen is offices are having to now communicate via messaging instead of a landline, right? If they're not in their office, they've had to completely adapt the way that they're reaching out to their patients for the most part. And so we've helped manage and control a lot of those conversations through our platform, whether it's messages coming in through the website or text messaging your patients saying, hey, this is kind of the plan of when we're looking to reopen. For offices that are open, it's not too many yet. I know a lot of them have plans to reopen here soon in May, but there's people that are using templates through Podium to say, hey, here's instructions on how to wait in your car, or how to now check in with the new processes that everyone's having to go through.
Well, and I think that's really important because things change, right? And you have to adapt. And who knows how long this is going to last, right? Maybe this is going to be something where you're going to communicate with using Podium or any other service kind of via messaging, via text messaging. And you need to have something that's fairly easy to use. Now, for those who are watching right now, guys, do me a favor, type in the comments section, hello. Let us know that you're here. Say hello. And also, I'm going to put this crawler up here because, look, we're about to dive right in. You're going to have a ton of questions there. So if you have any questions, type in the comments section the questions, and I'll hook Josh up. Like I said, Josh works on the healthcare side of Podium. And you're probably thinking right now, well, the healthcare side, how many sides are there? And so, Josh, let's let people know. Podium, what kind of business, what industries do you guys work with? Because I want them to understand that kind of how big you guys are. So you work on the healthcare side, but what other verticals are you guys in?
So Podium, it's grown. When I came onto the healthcare team 4 years ago, there was only a few of us, handful of us, right? But it's grown significantly. So Eric Ray, he's one of the founders, started Podium in his spare bedroom back in 2014. And the intent was just to help his dad's tire shop he had up in Canada to, help get their business off the ground there. And it turned into what Podium services over 45,000 businesses nationwide. So yeah, it's grown significantly. And any type of business that's really brick and mortar that has a need for messaging, Podium can work with. So we're in the home services, space. We're in the automotive space, auto services, If you need to go get your oil changed, there's a chance you'll run into Podium there for the business. Healthcare is big, obviously, right? Where I'm at, but professional services, there's a variety of companies that you'll see that have a need for Podium and that we're helping.
And we were talking earlier. You were saying that how the fact that you guys work in so many different industries now, you're not just kind of stuck in dental, right? You're work so many industries. You guys learn a lot what works for like restaurants and whatnot, and kind of bring that knowledge over to the dental side.
Yeah, no, 100%. It's kind of cool to take things that have worked really well in other industries and tailor it to other verticals that are kind of, you could say, a little bit behind the time or not quite caught up, right?
Yeah.
And COVID's been crazy because I feel like we've taken what has taken a couple decades, you could say, to like kind of catch up on technology wise. And now businesses are almost forced to, or like making a big change.
Yeah.
And we've seen that change happen, right? Pretty quickly here. But yeah.
So we were before we jumped on, I was talking about like, oh yeah, I told you, yeah, I know about Podium, I mean, you guys do reviews and all that stuff, and you're like, oh, Dr. Vogt, Dr. Vogt, let's talk real quick here. Let's talk real quick. We do so much more than just reviews. Yeah. So let's kind of go into that, because I think like a lot of people are like me. They're like, oh yeah, I heard of Podium before. Like they do that review stuff, right? And it's funny. We sat and we talked a bit. We're like, no, man, I gotta let you know what else we do. And so you said something in the beginning. Right now, your current clients on the dental space, they're using the messaging platform to communicate with patients, to get a hold of patients, to let them know, to give them a heads up about coming into the office of what to expect and whatnot. Well, let's talk about that. That's a significant thing. That's more than just a, hey, let me click for a 5-star review here. So talk about the messaging aspect, and also let's dive into the other stuff too, because it's so much more than just reviews.
Yeah, I mean, reviews, and I think we run into that in our first round of funding. We had Google Ventures involved in that piece, and obviously that was a big part of reviews and everything, right? So we're a Google Ventures company, but in the past 3 years, it's changed significantly. So reviews is a small piece of what Podium does for businesses, and it's been really cool to see the adoption of messaging and web chat across businesses, especially in the dental space. So some examples of that right now is, and I'll throw out an example of businesses in China and the difference they've seen. Yeah. So in the past, just during the past few months, there's a study you can go look at that Goldman and Sachs, and maybe we can even post it somewhere here in the comments. But before COVID, Starbucks was seeing 15% of their orders happen online. During the peak of COVID, it was closer to 85%. And even post, like, I wouldn't say post-COVID yet, but where they're at right now, it's significantly, everything's opening up. It's starting to, at least. Mm-hmm. They're still seeing over, I think, close to 50% of their orders happening online. Wow. So it's really changed the way that consumers are thinking about doing business, or are actually doing business with companies right now. And so having a good way to message has been critical. So a lot of like the dental space right now, the ADA released a report last month that showed, I believe, it was a pretty slim amount of offices that were open. And if they are open, they're open to emergency patients for the most part, right? So it's been really, I'm sure a lot of dentists that are on this right now are excited that the ADA is opening up and saying that we have the ability to now start to practice again, and then they have start dates and kind of open dates, projected dates for people. But the change that we've seen is just offices trying to have a good way to communicate with their patients, make them feel secure, make them feel safe during all this, that, hey, look, we got your back. We want you to feel like when you come into the office that that it's going to be clean, that we're taking the right steps, right measures, to your safety is kind of first, right? And you can do all that via text. So I'll give you kind of, I guess, a couple examples, but like the parking lot waiting room is what you could call it, is a practice that I've seen a lot of practices. Sorry, that doesn't quite sound right, but it's something that a lot of practices have started to implement. And the idea there is, people come into your practice, they don't have to step into your waiting room with 10 people.
Yeah, it's like a virtual waiting room.
Yeah, it's like a virtual waiting room.
Yeah, so they're like chilling out in their car, and honestly, I mean, a lot of times that's why people like the curbside stuff, right? Like, hey, do you have curbside? So I don't have to walk in, just bring my food out. I'm on my way. I mean, people can be just chilling in their car, and then I'm assuming like Podium could shoot them a text, say, hey, it's time for you to walk on in.
Exactly, and so that's the nice thing there, right? Is it's as simple as a text. So instead of having to pick up the phone, call that person in their car, you can just shoot them a text when it's ready. They can pop in, get their cleaning or the work they need done, and then pop back out, right? Without having to stay in that waiting room. And so that's been really nice. We have some templates that we can customize for you.
I was gonna ask you that because
that. Yeah.
Wow. So I mean, that's why I was gonna ask you that. Do you guys have any templates or something like that where you can just kind of click on it and just fire it off to your patients?
Yeah, exactly. And it looks and feels just like a text. So from the patient's perspective, they're not going to see that it's a template, right? But yeah, we can really help to streamline it for the staff. So you can add in the patient's name to the template. You can add in the practice name. There's some things you can do to make it feel more personal when you're sending that off.
So I'm gonna have to stop you right here, man, because like I said, when we got on before we jumped on, I was like, Josh, dude, so we're gonna talk about reviews and all that stuff, and you're like, Dr. Vo, it's so much more than that. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And you're like, I'm gonna let you know during this live stream. So you're letting me know right now. So okay. Yeah. So now we just talked about, so we haven't even gotten to the reviews. We'll get to that, right? Everyone knows what reviews are. We'll get to that. But you said that there's this messaging option, and you said that it's going to come off as like a text message. So you're saying like they don't have to download like an app or something to get these messages. You send the message, it goes to their text message.
Exactly. So there's no need for an app to download. Podium has an app, but it's actually for the business side, not for the consumer, right? So if you're a business, you want to have it on a phone for the go, like if you want to be able to communicate back and forth. But when you're sending out those messages on Podium, it comes to the patient's cell phone. I mean, so they get it on their phone, and it's quick and easy to respond back and forth, right? Yeah.
So as far as like the platform, like let's say if I'm in the office and I want to send these messages out, am I doing it on my phone, or is there like a platform where I can just kind of click some stuff and just fire it off to people?
Yeah, the phone is, in my opinion, the phone's great for when you're on the go, right?
Yes.
You're not in the office. Having it on your phone, you can get notifications when people are trying to chat with you or text you through that. But we also have a web-based portal that's a little bit more comprehensive, and that's what the majority of offices will have up. Is they'll pull up their Chrome, or their Safari, their Firefox browser, and have Podium just living there, and it's simple and easy to communicate back and forth. There's notifications that can pull up that way. We can, and it's pretty customizable in the sense that you could have every staff member on Podium, and you can go in and basically customize who you want to see what, right? So very, very tailored for the office.
So, okay, I'm going to put you on the spot right now. But before we go any further, guys, if you like what you're hearing, you want a nifty deal with Podium, type in the comments section Podium. Okay, type in the comments section Podium because, man, I'm actually learning for the first time here, because I was like, I know about Podium. Everyone uses Podium. A lot of people use Podium for reviews and stuff, but now I'm learning of all this extra stuff that comes with Podium. Okay, so I'm going to put you on the spot here. Okay. Yeah. Now, you said something about you can get it on an app and you can get it on your phone. You can do it on the go, which is huge right now, right? Because, for example, I'm not in my office right now. I'm at home. I'm doing this Facebook Live with you. But you know what? I would love to message a patient, because I'm going into the office tomorrow, about, hey, don't forget this, or don't forget that. So I'm going to put you on the spot. Does Podium have the capability? So, like, is there any way I can able to send it to my patient without me being in the office, like using it off the app? Like, how do I get to my patient list? How do I do that? Or do I have to get their number and put it in?
It's simple. So when we first sign up an office, we can do basically a download, get all your contacts in there, make it so it's easy for you to have those, right? And then you can search and sort by phone number or name for those contacts.
Wow. It gets the contacts from my practice.
So we can do a download, so you have all the contacts in there. So there's some ways we can help with that for sure. But I mean, it really is simple. If you're on the go, you're on your phone, doc, you want to connect with the patient, you click on that app, and then it's a matter of just sending out that text. It looks and feels just like a text for that customer or for that patient. And then the other cool thing we just launched recently, because Zoom conferences have become more and more common, right? I feel like Google Hangouts, Zoom, Facebook type chats, right? But Podium recently launched video chat as well as an option.
Oh, wow.
Which in my opinion has been great. And it's really easy to connect as well. That's kind of been the trick in the past, is trying to get people on to the actual chat, like onto that video chat to start it. And you can initiate it all via your text.
Okay. So I didn't even know that. So now you got me really interested. Okay.
Yeah.
So just to confirm, you just said that Podium has the ability to do a video chat with one of the patients or one of your clients.
Correct.
Yeah.
So if you want to take it from text to video, you can do all that through text. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, my next question, and everyone's probably thinking this right now, is it secure? I mean, because you're talking about patient about stuff. Is it like, obviously people started using Zoom and they got nailed because people were like Zoom hijacking and stuff like that. How's the security? I mean, I'm assuming this is a pretty new thing, or have you guys had this for a while?
Yeah, so Podium is very secure on that aspect as well. So we're HIPAA compliant. We even have a secure messaging portal. So if you wanted to take any sort of a conversation from just a text conversation to a secure portal, you can initiate that through Podium as well.
Oh,
so you
wow.
can take that conversation, and then it'll actually send them a link to have them start that conversation in a secure portal. So there's ways to take it kind of the next level of security if you want. Right. If it goes from like basic questions to more of maybe a consult.
Yeah. Or talking about something like, more specific. Yeah. And so, wow, I love that. Okay. Yeah. So can you do that? Can you initiate all that? Okay. So you brought up a bunch of stuff. Okay. You got the messaging. We already talked about the messaging. We get it. Everyone understands that. Right. I guess my question about that before we go forward is, if I send a message to a patient, what does it come up as on the phone for the patient? Does it come up as my practice number, or what does it come up as?
Yeah, we will try. Majority of the time, we try to connect to your office number.
Yeah.
If you're on a landline, we can connect your number to Podium.
Okay.
So then when you're texting, it's coming from a familiar number that your staff already knows. And if not, we can assign a local area code to Podium's number, so it still gives you that kind of feel.
Okay. So it won't be like a 1-800 number or something.
No, not at all.
Like whenever I see anything that's like 1-800 or 855 or anything, like I automatically just ignore it or delete it. I don't even look at it.
Or like the numbers that are, it's like a random 4-digit number, 5-digit number. Yeah, so it's a real phone number.
Okay.
And if you're on a landline, there's a good chance we can connect it to Podium. So then it's coming in directly from your phone.
I love it. Okay, so now we're gonna dive further, because you just got me super interested, guys. If you like what you're hearing, if you want to get a nifty deal on Podium, which Josh just dropped it. Okay, he was like, okay, we got messaging, we got a secure chat. Okay, so that you can keep things secure if you want to go there, and he just talked about video chat. Guys, if you want a nifty deal, type in the comment section Podium there, and if you have any questions. I can't be the only one who has questions. If you have any questions, type in the comments section. Okay, so let's go back to the video chat. Can you initiate that off your phone, off the app, or do you have to be on a desktop?
Video chat is fairly new. So the desktop's going to be the easiest way to initiate that one right now. But 100% it's going to be available from the phone as well. So the way we build out the platform, video chat we had it in our plan to launch soon. With COVID, we kind of
you just pushed it faster when COVID happened.
We pushed it faster, so it works amazing. It's such a clear video as well. But yeah, to answer your question, everything will be in the app as well, so you can do it. I love
that. I love it. I mean, especially video chat right now. I mean, people are doing consults and whatnot. And here's the thing. I mean, a bunch of you guys have asked me to work the Nifty deal for something to do video consults. Well, I accidentally just stumbled into it right here with Podium. So, okay, is the video chat something where like, I guess on the user side, do we have to initiate it? Like, okay, we have to send the link to them and whatnot, or can they just click on something and they be in, you know how like sometimes Zoom, you can send a link to someone and then y'all have a scheduled time and y'all just pop on. Is it like that? Or is it something where you have to kind of give them a heads up and then send the link to them?
No, and that's what's been so nice about it, is because if it is other platforms out there, I don't want to just say Zoom, but Zoom's a pretty common one, right?
Yeah.
Use. But yeah, there's either a process of downloading the app or downloading something to get on. And if you're not familiar or patients aren't familiar with that, it can be kind of a hassle. So the nice thing with Podium is we send them the link via text. So it's on their phone, it's in text. They click on that link, and then it takes you into that video chat from your text message. So
they don't have to download anything, because Zoom. Zoom.
Yes, so no download.
This thing that we're on right now, like if you wanted to do the phone, like this software that we're using for this Facebook Live, you would have to download something. But with this, you don't have to download anything?
No download. So it is pretty dang quick. Couple seconds. Wow. So on the Podium's end, the business, they connect the same way as the customer does, or the patient. And within a couple seconds, you can send out that text through the platform, have them connecting on a video chat. So really, really easy to do.
That is so awesome. And here's the thing. Everyone's always worried about, like, well, my patient does have a webcam. Well, they have a freaking smartphone, right? I mean, they could just hold it up and start talking.
Yeah, and that's a good point there, right? Smartphones, there's a lot of benefits to doing it via text. Like, and I know we're not going to spend too much time on reviews, but that's the idea with reviews too, right? Get it on their phone, get it to them via text message. People pay attention to their phones. I know for myself, I never allow my phone, myself to go with like more than two or three red little messages on my messaging app, right? On my phone. But I usually have a few hundred emails that are unopened. Like it's just how it is. So if you can get it to your patients via text, they will check it, and they'll check it soon. The average is about 2 minutes.
And I can tell you this, based on how my nephew acts a lot of times around his girlfriend, he always checks his text message right away before anyone grabs his phone. Like he's like he checks it right away. I'm like, Caden, what are you doing, man? Are you worried about someone reading your text message? I mean, you're checking it right away, especially if your mom's around or if your girlfriend's around. You grab your phone right away. But that's the thing with text messages, like everyone checks it right away.
Yeah,
I love the fact that, like I said, we haven't even gotten to reviews yet. But first of all, I mean, the messaging, the video, I mean, the secure chat, and then the video, that is huge, because the thing is you guys, a lot of you guys who are watching right now, you're already talking about doing these FaceTimes, these chats, video chats and whatnot. It's all part of Podium. They make it easy. You don't have to download anything. I'm like shocked that you don't have to do that. Okay, so let's go to the reviews, because the reviews is very important. And look, I mean, there's a lot of review companies out there, right? And what I was impressed with Podium about is the fact that you guys, y'all work in the dental space. You also work in the medical space and optometry space and the vet space and the restaurant space and all, up to the founder's dad's tire shop, right? You guys do that, right? You guys do it. It works for everywhere. So talk about what makes kind of Podium different, the way you guys do reviews, as opposed to like some of your competitors. Yeah.
And again, this goes back to me being at Podium for close to 4 years now. Yeah. And the one thing I can always say is results. Like, it's amazing. If you're looking for a solution to help with reviews, it's a dime a dozen. There are probably 100 different platforms out there that claim to help with online reviews, but it's a matter of, is it getting it to the right source, to the right spot? How simple is it for that person to actually leave a review? And because there's so many platforms out there that can help get reviews, but it's to the wrong spot.
Yeah.
Right? Google is king, in my opinion. I think majority of people feel that same way, or would agree with that, right? So that's where we put the majority of our focus. It's let's get reviews to the place that matter most for offices and for businesses. And so that's kind of step one. And then how can we do it in a way that's simple and easy? And it's the same with the video chat. The reason we do it via text is you don't have to download anything. It's easy. Yeah. It's simple. We do that with a review as well. So it's simple and easy. The adoption rate is super high. So if you've had a hard time getting reviews, if you're struggling to try and get reviews on your Google page, Podium can really help take that to the next level for you.
So Josh, let me ask you this. I mean, you work with a lot of dental practices, right? And obviously they always say, hey, I mean, how many reviews can I get, once I start? So why don't you just let's just talk like average speaking, right? I mean, there's going to be some offices that straight up kill it, right? That all of a sudden they got like 300 reviews out of nowhere, right?
Yeah.
But what's the average, for someone who's like thinking, okay, you know what, I got some downtime right now. I'm looking for something. I'm looking for a comprehensive service that not only does reviews, but does messaging, that does video chat, that does secure messaging. But you know what? Reviews is still important to me, right? For someone who's thinking, they're listening right now, what can they expect? What have you seen on the average office once they sign up with Podium?
Yeah. And again, there's a lot that goes into these averages. Sure. I'll use an example though. My personal dentist that, they before pre-using Podium, had close to 20 reviews on their Google page.
Like 20 total.
20 total reviews. It's a 2-doctor practice.
Yeah.
After a year of using Podium, they were at 550 reviews.
Oh my gosh.
So it is volume based. If you've got 5 doctors at your practice, you could be over 1,000 reviews your first year of using Podium. So it really does depend on how many patients you see. But it works really well.
And your dentist, I mean, obviously you've been seeing that dentist for a while, and they have a busy practice. There's 2 docs there, but he only had 20 reviews.
Yeah.
He only had 20 reviews. And so I mean, I'm assuming like, okay, so you went in there, you saw your dentist, had your checkup and whatnot. Hey, talk to him about Podium. He signs up. So I guess when you came back 6 months later, what did he say when he went from like?
I mean, they were stoked. It was more than they could have asked for, right? And the process, I think it was pretty cool. They had their hygienist pretty involved in the process of asking patients for feedback and for reviews. And I think, in my opinion, that's really what helped as well to take them to that point. So it's a matter of when you send it out, what's the process like, who's involved in that? And that's all part of Podium as well that a lot of people don't see.
Yeah.
We set up a whole strategy call, with your office, with your staff. We want to make sure you are set up for success.
Wait, so you just don't tell us to download stuff and just have at it?
Exactly, right? So it's not a sign up and you're done. It's a sign up for Podium. We're invested in making you successful as well with it. And this at the same time too, like if there's an office where Podium might not make sense, that we'll tell you. Like we're pretty open with people, and if you're open 1 day a week, you see 5 patients, Podium, you might not. I would say don't expect to get 20 reviews on Google in your first month, right? But so it's setting the correct expectations with patients with offices. Yeah.
Well, I will say this: even if reviews is not, and it is shit, right? Reviews is something that every dental practice should be concerned about or care about, right? But let's say you're that one doctor who doesn't care about it. The fact that Podium now has that video chat, I keep on going back to that because that's like huge right now. People want to do these consults and whatnot. The fact that Podium has that, right? But the fact that Podium has the messaging where you're sending text messages. Okay, so I mentioned all those things. And then secure chat too. Okay, is there something else? Because I'm already impressed with all the things that you guys offer. Is there something else that I'm missing? Is there something else that Podium does besides those features?
Well, yeah, it's Podium. We especially recently, we've put a lot of our focus and time into kind of the full customer journey.
Yeah.
So not just the initial part of when the patient finds you online. Reviews are a big factor in that, right? Yeah. When you go online, when they're doing a local search for a dentist and they find you, but also what happens then? What happens at that point? So they go online, they're doing a search, they're looking for a dentist. How does that convert from that to a scheduled appointment in your office and to completing that appointment? And that's what I feel like Podium's done really, really well over the past few years, is kind of connecting those dots. And so web chat, that's not something I've mentioned yet, but having web chat on websites, it's something Podium's had now for about 2 years, just over 2 years. And that product has been a big game changer for offices. And the reason why is there are a ton of websites out there that they look nice. They're set up nice. They've spent thousands of dollars on their website, but they're not set up as a lead gen tool.
Yeah.
Right? They're just not set up for an easy, convenient way for the patient to now, or the potential patient to now connect with the office. So that's where web chat has been very powerful. And we call it web chat, but I know web chat can mean a lot of things now. It's honestly more like a web text in the sense that we give people the ability to now text you directly into your Podium, into Podium in your office right from the website.
So let's go through the scenario. Okay. So I have Podium, I have a web chat on my website, and you come to it and you see a little chat button and you click on it and you just say, hey, are you guys open today or something, right?
Yeah.
That message goes to the dashboard and we get a notification, or
correct.
Is that how it works?
Straight to your office. So straight to your Podium account, you'll have that up. You could have multiple users as well, having that up in the office. Wow. And then you can respond back to that as if it was a text message.
Wow.
So the benefit there too that we've found is how many times do people hop on a website, they start chatting or trying to chat with those, you could call them like a live chat, but you leave that page and now it's gone. Your conversation's gone. You've got to restart your conversation. It's super frustrating. I did it the other day with my phone company trying to make some changes, and it's frustrating to have to go back through that.
Yeah, you got to start all over again.
Yes. So the nice thing with this is they put in their name and their phone number. It will send them a text. And now what we've done is we've taken the conversation from the computer or even from their phone, if that's where they started that search, to text. So now you have a name.
Wait, hold up.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, because that's a game changer right there. Okay, so you're saying that someone can go on, like you come onto my website and you start talking to me, right? If maybe let's say somehow you accidentally click the browser and you close it.
Yeah.
Right. That happens, right? Or maybe you're clicking around, you're multitasking and you close it. So you're saying that even when you leave that web chat, I can still talk to you, but then I'll send you a text message?
Exactly. So when you start the chat, we are asking for the name and phone number. That now transfers that to text. So how many people don't have majority of people, 99% of people have their phone on them almost all the time.
Yeah.
Right? So the concept there is when they're doing a search, and it might even be on their phone, they're doing the search, we're taking that from their website and taking it to text. So now you have the ability to text back and forth. From the office standpoint, you have a phone number and a name. So if you wanted to start a video call from that number, you could do that. If you wanted to start, you could text back and forth. You could call them. You could do multiple things right there from that number within Podium.
I think what's amazing is, let's say someone was asking a question about, hey, how much does it cost for an exam and cleaning, right? And maybe they get busy and they don't say anything. That gives like the office the ability to reach back out and say, hey, I just wanted to make sure that we answered all your questions, and would you like to make an appointment or something like that? That gives the office that ability because now they got their number.
Yeah, 100%. It's a lead. And that's what we found is there's less of a chance of losing those leads.
Right.
Website, you want to have a high amount or as high as you can percentage of conversion, right? So like if someone's coming to your website, if only 1 out of every 1,000 people are converting, it's not a great conversion rate. So web chat has been a game changer. We've seen about a 10x in the amount of chats coming in versus just your typical like contact us form that websites.
What's really exciting is, look, okay, I mean, people, they surf the net at odd hours, right? I mean, there's been times where I was up late and I'm looking up like, hey, where I'm going to eat at this weekend, right? Yeah. Like real late at night, I'm just looking, right? And there's been times, believe it or not, I see a chat button, I'll just ask a question, and I get a little disappointed when it's like, oh, leave a message here, right? I get a little disappointed. I'm like, oh man, I wanted to talk to somebody. What's so cool about this is, let's say it's in the middle of the night, right? Look, you're closed, right? But I guess if you initiate this and you ask a question, bam, the very next morning, your team member can send something back. Or if you're really motivated, and you're at home. Yeah. Let me ask you this: if I'm at home, right? I'm at home and I'm like, watching TV, and I check, like, would I get a ping on my phone, and could I like respond?
Yeah, 100%. If you want to, and we have doctors that they like that aspect, right? Yeah. They like after hours, they have that ability to chat back and forth. What we can do, and this is what I recommend, is we'll set up your hours of operation. Mm-hmm. So if you're open from 10 to 6, and someone messages in from there won't be, it'll just go direct to your Podium account. If it's anytime before or after that, it'll still go to your Podium account. You'll be able to see it as an office, but we'll shoot them off an automated text message, kind of like an after hours type line. So you can say, hey, we're out of the office. We'll be back with you as soon as possible. If it's an emergency, feel free to reach out to, the doctor at this number. You can have a similar text message like that goes out to them automatically. So they know you've received the message. You'll get back to them as soon as you can.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you this, and I know you said it's like almost like a 10x thing, return here. But let me ask you this: once you guys had that, and I mean, obviously, you guys see the messages going back and forth. I mean, what has the feedback been from practices about these patients that normally they would probably not have gotten, but because of this, people came in? What has the feedback been on that?
It's huge. I mean, we've had certain, and again, we work with thousands of practices, right? But we've had practices literally set up with Podium, and within the first few hours of using Podium, they've had patients and leads coming in from that, right? So it's giving offices the ability to capture these leads that they probably never would have in the past, which is leading to revenue, right? It's leading.
I'm going to bring this up, and look, you're a marketing guy, marketing and stuff like that. I mean, think about, this. I mean, think about how much money people spend on their website, number one. But there's the big, ugly word that everyone talks about, and it's called SEO. Can you imagine like what people pay for SEO? And they work their butts off to get the patients to go on the site, only for people to like, hey man, where is everything? And I'm out of here. I mean, it's like it's amazing. And look, we haven't even talked about how much Podium costs, right? But just thinking that right now, guys, for those who are watching right now, think about what you spend on your SEO, right? And you work so hard to get them there, only for people to like just bounce on out of there. And just the fact that this web chat is here, but this is just one aspect. Okay, so I'm already super impressed. Is there anything else that Podium, is there something that Podium does not do? I mean, let me just start there. You guys have so much stuff, but what other features, or is that like the core features of what Podium offers?
Those are big. One thing that has been huge for a lot of practices has been payments. So we have an automated way, not an automated, I apologize. We have a way of doing a text for payments. So if you have an overdue balance, if you have let's say you're making calls. You have your staff making calls every day to collect balances on these. Shoot them off a text after you leave a voicemail with a quick link of how to make that payment. And Podium has that. We have a quick text link that you can send out to collect those payments. The rates are extremely competitive, if not better than what we found most people are paying for keyed in payments. It's very, very competitive that way as well. So that's a feature that Podium offers, has been payments.
And that's a secure, like everything's pretty. That's everyone's next question is like how secure it is and whatnot.
Extremely secure. It's a great way to process your payments. So if you have any remaining balances, let's say you just ran the insurance, there's a small amount that's still due. Yeah. Shoot them off a quick text. They can make that payment right with their phone, and you'd be surprised the amount of time it's going to save your staff. The amount of people appreciate the convenience factor there of just being able to pay over text.
Wow. I mean, those, like I said, when I talked to you and we were going to bring you on, I was just thinking, okay, so we're going to talk about reviews, and okay, cool. Like everyone needs reviews, and let's see how different it is. But I'll tell you what, man, I'm pretty shocked that you guys do. I mean, first of all, the messaging, that was pretty cool, right? The video chat, I was really impressed by, right? But I mean, the web chat and the strategy behind it, it's gonna pay for itself. Literally, it's gonna pay for itself. We haven't even talked about really like reviews and whatnot. Okay, so let's go into specifics. People who are watching right now, guys, if you like what you're hearing, type in the comment section, Podium, and we'll talk about Nifty deal as well. So, Josh, let me ask you this. Okay, that package of all that good stuff, right? What is the normal price for that?
Yeah, Podium, the price is going to vary depending on obviously the type of package you want. So we really try to tailor it to the office's needs. It could be anywhere from a few $100s to some of our kind of top tier packages for businesses, or $500-600 a month, depending on what you're looking for. what is really, really cool is Podium has actually came out. We announced last month our Series C round of funding. So we had $125 million come through. And with that announcement, Podium came out and offered a free, it's called Podium Starter. So a free portion of our service for businesses right now.
Wait, what?
That's
wait, say that one more time. Did you just say free, man?
So it's called Podium Starter. And with the current situation with COVID and everything, we launched it 3 weeks ago. We're pretty close to that, right? So it's called Podium Starter. If you want details on it, you can go to Podium's website. There's a banner there at the top, talks about Podium Starter. Again, Podium Starter, it's a good place to start for offices. My gut tells me a lot of dental practices, they'll probably want to take advantage of some of the paid for features as well. But it's a great place to start. It's a free service, gives you the ability to message, to make payments, those payments that I talked about, being able to text out those payment links. All that can happen with your Podium Starter package. That's pretty cool.
So I put that on the screen because, first of all, that was amazing. I want to make sure that everyone knows that. But I mean, what a great way to start with Podium. But, I was just thinking about, even if you go with a top tier service, right, with everything, all the bells and whistles, if you think about it, guys, some of the stuff that you are already using right now, they don't have these features. So what do you end up doing? You have to get another product, right? You got to get another product, right? And before you know it, you're actually paying way more. But with Podium, everything's all together and it all kind of works together, right? The web chat works with the messaging, right? The reviews works with the messaging right there. I mean, the video chat works with that. Instead of you having one thing for reviews, one thing for website chat, one thing for video. And the thing is if you have 3 different services, they don't talk to each other. You gotta like grab something and move it over here and move over there. So let me ask you this: so guys, that's a super nifty deal. I got some people typing it in there, guys. If you like what you're hearing, type in the comment section Podium. Okay, so the Podium Starter package. Do you know? I mean, what is in that package? Like, what are they gonna get in that package? Just to kind of
you get a limited amount of messages you can send out a month.
Okay, so they can kind of try out the messaging.
You can try out the messaging. It's still a pretty substantial amount, but it's a limited amount of the messaging, unlimited amount of payments. So if you're looking to make payments or collect payments that way, you can utilize that through the messaging as well there. So it really is a way to get your office using a messaging feature that's two-way. And if you don't have something like that in place, I would say hop on and sign up right now because it's free. So there's really not a reason not to. But also, it's a great way if you want to have conversations about, okay, how can I kind of take that free version of Podium, that starter package, to the next level? Then that's where we can, connect with myself or someone else on the team, and we can help kind of see if there's a fit for adding the other features to it. Well,
first of all, I'm going to say this: that's super generous of your company to do that for us, especially, I will tell you this, Josh, every day, and it's gotten a little bit better, but in the beginning, there's so many people that were worried about their practice, about, man, everything's closed down, money is so tight. What a great give back that Podium is doing there to help us out, number one. And the amazing thing is that you can use this for a little bit as you're kind of opening up your practice again. And then look, I mean, don't take Josh's word for it. Like, try it. I mean, don't take his word for it. Try it out, and if it's amazing, then you can get the whole package. And if it's not, you can message Josh and say, "What's up, man?" Maybe you can you can talk to him about that. But I think that's amazing. That's such a great give back. Now I'm going to ask you this: what if the doctor's like, "Okay, well, I like some of those features, but man, I don't know if I need that other stuff." Do you guys do like a custom package, or is it more like, hey, look, we got the super package, you need it anyways, just go with that? Do you guys customize packages at all?
Yeah, we do have different tiers of packages, right? So we really do try to tailor it to the office and your needs, and every office is different. So if there's an office that's more focused on the video chat and the messaging and other aspects there, we can definitely work with you on the package to get it to fit your needs better. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for me, like, I mean, I'm pretty tech savvy, but I'm not too tech savvy. So let's say someone like me who's like, okay, that's really cool. I want to have it on my website, but man, I don't know how to mess with that.
Yeah.
How do y'all handle the installation? I mean, y'all work with a webmaster to put the widget on, or how does that work exactly?
Yeah, we'll grab your webmaster's info from you.
Okay.
We'll get you connected, and then we can have them add that web script. It's a pretty simple ad for them. So we'll send it over with instructions. If you have access, even if the doctor has access to the website, I know a lot of times they're able to do it on their own.
Yeah.
Or you can shoot it to your webmaster. Either way, it's a pretty simple way to connect.
I love that, man. So first of all, I mean, this is such an awesome deal because look, I mean, you guys are always asking me for a Nifty deal. Well, there's nothing that gets niftier than free, right? I mean, that's pretty nifty, thrifty right there. But what's amazing too is that you get a chance to use some of these services that you need in your practice right now. So if you don't have this messaging option, you need to jump all over that. It's free, right? And then you can decide, okay, well, what Josh said is legit. I'm ready to have a conversation. And at that point, you can have a conversation with them. And there's different packages, right? I'll say this. You almost have to, I think all those things is something you need, especially in dental practice. I mean, you can skimp here and there, but like, where are you going to skimp at, right? I mean, you need reviews.
Yeah.
Right? You need the messaging. I mean, nowadays, I mean, good luck trying to get someone on the phone. You're messaging them. You need the web chat because people go on your website and they're leaving. And then the video chat. I mean, come on. You need all those things. And then the payments too. I mean, gosh, I love that stuff, man. Well, Josh, I want to say this, man. Thank you so much for jumping on, man. We are super excited to have Podium in our community. I tell everyone in Nifty Thrifty Dentist, my goal is to get some really good companies that want to work with us, to work some great deals. And this is an amazing deal right here. So before we sign off, Josh, what is the best way for someone to kind of dive into the starter package? What's the best way?
Yeah, I think the easiest way, and I can try and get a link on here for you as well.
Yeah, I'll get the link from you. We put on.
Yeah, the easiest way would be go to podium.com. There's a little banner at the top that talks about the starter. Click on that. And it for starters, kind of self-serve. I mean, you can download it and start using it pretty much same day. So it's a really, really quick and easy process there. So that's what I would recommend. Just go to podium.com, look for the banner at the top of the website, click on that, and you can get started. Awesome.
Josh, thank you so much for jumping on, man. And guys, for those who are watching, thank you so much. Type in the comments section later any questions. And if any questions come up, I'm going to make sure Josh gets it. So thanks a lot, guys. Josh, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me. Thanks, Glenn.
Bye, everyone.